What's up guys, Sam here, and in today's video, what I'm going to show you is how to live like a rock star without fuckloads of money. You don't have to be good looking, you don't have to be rich, you don't have to be, oh well, you kind of have to not give a fuck about anything. So yeah, that kind of fits out. And show you how to be the most influential person at any event you go to supercharge the fuck out of your personality, to be able to use nuances in humor that not a lot of people know of, to be expansive in your personality, as well as meet the highest caliber of people, the highest influence, and people that are simply going to motivate you in life. So let's get into it. Let's go really far down the rabbit hole on how to be a rock star and how to have that rock star personality. Yeah, it's time to get away from your laptop. It's time to leave the house and get outside and start communicating with other human beings, guys. I'll sound the bells and whistles. Woo! It's time to fucking leave the house. Thank Christ. That was the worst 9 months of our life sitting indoors. Now, if I'm going into a room with any other person ever, this is ever, if I'm going into a room with any other person, and I want to captivate that person, either it's, I could be chilling out with a friend, a girl I'm attracted to, marketers, business people, I could be hitting up with CEOs, any single person, the way that I'm going to make those people like me or have a positive emotion around me or just generally like the vibe is I'm going to be having the most fun out of every single person in the room. Think about when you're in high school. The cool kids were the ones that were having the most fun. The ones that weren't taking life too seriously, that were joking around, making fun, even making fun of the substitute teacher. They were just living life and having fun. So if ever I'm going to do that, I'm going to have the most fun out of all the room. And even when I'm in the room, when I first approach the room, when I first get really close to the door and start to push it, I go, you want to know what I say? I say, how can I have the most fun here? How can I have fun? How can I enjoy myself more than any other person here? That's the simple question I ask myself. When Owen and I used to go filming, or when I would be assisting for him and he would go to shoot a video, it's not as if the camera's turned on and we would just go record. That's not what happens. He would take me out to lunch, we would joke, we would make fun of just anything and everything in the environment. We would start to be at the cause, not the effect. I'm going to say that. We would start to be at the cause, not the effect. We're not affected by the stimulus of the environment. If someone starts to drop stuff or what would you like to order, this and that, even the art of someone or a waiter saying, what would you like to order? We would make the biggest joke out of it. We would be, most likely me, I would be like, oh, look, I want beef, like a beef burger, but I don't want it to be beef. And this is before the whole vegetarian, can you whip something up? Look, I want pesto on it. I want this, I want that. Look, I want it to taste like a burnt tire. I would just be riffing and making shit up on the spot and just having fun. Oh, I like that. Now, when you come and serve it to me, I want your apron to be back to front. See your hair's on the right side. I want it to be on the left. You would please me if you did that for me. Just mucking around. Oh, sir. Yes, hello, sir. And I have some clips here where I'm mucking around with people and they're just doing their whole job, getting them out of the reality of what they're there for.
Yes, Jenny, just at the Gucci store. Anywhere there will do. Thank you. No Gucci?
It's just up here on the right.
Okay. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Most welcome anytime, sir.
Me and Owen would just shoot the shit, have fun, and really enjoy ourselves. And I've incorporated that through my life. Give you an example of the other night, right? So I watched a video where this guy is just moaning because he likes the taste of the food. He's like eating strawberries, like, mmm.
Oh God, it's so good. So good.
We were at dinner the other day, and me, my buddy, and a girl, and we sat down, and when we started to eat the food, we started moaning, and other people were looking at us and laughing at us and making fun of what we were doing, but we didn't care because we were enjoying ourselves. We were having the most fun. Oh my God, this is so good. And we're loud, and it's like a quiet restaurant. Obviously, we might have been interrupting other people. Sure, we could have been a little bit more, but I wanted to feel in my body. It was an energetic response that me and my buddy were having, and it was just funny to be around. And we started incorporating other people. It was never at their detriment. Oh, so good. So when the waiter came and collected our tables, I asked her, I was saying, did you like our moaning? And she goes, it's such a different question. You can imagine all the questions. Oh, the food was delicious. Oh, it was this. Oh, it was that. No, the question I asked her was, did you like our moaning? Something completely off wall. This is like, she's probably never had a question like that. She goes, well, it could have been a little bit better. And I go, oh, how so? Oh, how so? And this lady has gone, look to the right, look to the left, managers everywhere. She's gone, okay, taking a deep breath. And as she's taking a deep breath, I'm like, oh my God, this waitress is going to moan. And just as that happened, she dropped a plate. It was a catastrophe. Anyways, long story short, we saw her as we went out. She was laughing. The managers didn't care. It was a bit of fun. We got them involved. And even the manager said, oh, we could hear you moaning. It was hilarious. We were laughing in the back. So we incorporated this out of the wall, out of the box experience for all these people. Now, going back there, you can be damn sure that they remember us, the moaning guys, and just the amount of fun and different reality we put into that space. You see a music clip from most rappers today, and you're looking at that and you're like, damn, I want to be that. Or damn, I want to be there. Even have a look at Justin Bieber and Drake. They released Popstar, Rockstar, same thing. The gist of the video is the exact same. And you're like, I want to be there. I want to be that. That is so cool. It's because the vibe that they give off. And they captivate you with emotion and the high life and living the best life possible. So when I go into a new environment, what I first do is I'm light. I'm like a light footprint. So there's a difference between a heavy footprint and a light footprint. I'm bouncing around. I'm going from one person to another to another. I'm keeping it light. I'm throwing jokes. I'm not getting too serious, because when you get deep and you have a heavy footprint, you get deep and you start to get into topics, say politics, this, that, esoteric things, higher dimensions, this, that. You are causing friction where someone has a deep opinion about certain things, and that's where you start to get, connection can happen, but also friction can happen from there. So at the start of a night, I like to keep it fresh. I like to keep it light, joking around, and not too serious. I'm trying to take the seriousness out of everything. What you want to do is have an energetic exchange where it's light, it's fun, and when someone can't do that, when someone can't have a joke around, can't be non-serious, that is a sign of lower status, and you can feel it from them. Someone that can't let go, someone that's nervous. As soon as you're nervous, you lost. As soon as you've got too much, it meant too much to you, it is too much and it's too emotional. As soon as you need the picture from the celebrity, you've lost. Good example of this, I had a conversation with Jean-Claude Van Damme, and it was the second last photo I ever took with a celebrity ever. And because I understood that celebrities put you in three categories. They put you in a category of fan, they put you in a category of someone that is, the fan category is like, I'm going to remove all of myself out of it. Yeah, cool, I'm not, trying to be super, standing up to this stigma in this person's head of who they are. They're like, oh, yes, thank you so much, I appreciate it. The second thing is someone that doesn't need the photo is cool. And you're like, oh, that's cool, man, blah, 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 but they're a little bit of a taker. And then the third option is someone that comes to you with equal energy, and you're laughing, and it's not that big of a deal for them. And you're like, damn, this guy's cool. Yeah, I could see us actually being friends. Because these people, you think of them as, you put them so far on this pedestal, and high value people so far on this pedestal, but they're just like you and me. It really doesn't matter. So if you can be light, if you can be fun, and you can be super, it's not the biggest deal in the world to be here, you can share that energy. You can have that free-flowing energy rather than this heavy energy. So people want to have the fun. Now, I know I've been out in a restaurant and I've been sitting there. I might have been on a date. I might have been on a group environment, and I see someone and they're almost enjoying themselves more than I'm enjoying this moment. And you can feel the energy or the gravitational pull be locked onto them, because they are letting go. They are loose. They are relaxed. It's not a big deal to them. It is so fun and so free over there that you can feel the whole energy of the party move. And then I've been on the other example where I've been that person. I've been letting loose. It incorporates everyone else. Everyone else feels relaxed and fun, and everyone else can feel that they want to be part of the fun. They want to join the fun. You do it in any location. You do it in a nightclub. You have the most fun. People will gravitate towards you. Now, you've got to learn how to get out of your head and into a better, clearer headspace. You can't be your true authentic self. You can't laugh. You can't have fun in any situation because you're so up in your health, self-analyzing any scenario that's going on, judging how am I looking in other people's eyes, what am I doing, or are they judging me, are they doing this, are they doing that? We've been self-conditioned through society to accept that other people's judgments about us affect us greatly. It's like what they say about us or think about us, either to our face or behind our back, actually impacts us. And it comes from an evolution standpoint where if we were kicked out of the tribe, if we had any sort of confrontation with anyone and they kicked us out of the tribe, we would be dead. We would be left for dead. We wouldn't have any food, and we'd have to reintegrate with another tribe, which is very, very hard to do back in those days. How can you ever express yourself when half of your brain is focused on other people and half of your brain is focused on yourself? So you're in this kind of like 50% of your foot's on the gas, 50% on the brake, you know, you're back and forth. The car's not actually moving, and you're in this like kind of self-analyzing, and there's two faces that these people make, and you can see when you put someone in an uncomfortable situation, they either make a serial killer face where they're just stone dead and they're like and they start to kind of, you know, and they've got that, I wouldn't say that Ted Bundy look, let's just say, I'd say a serial killer look where it's like a deer in the headlights. And then number two, the second one they have is they almost like they need to take a shit. They're squirming around, they're hiding, they just don't want to be seen and they don't want to express themselves. So a high status person is able to get out of their head, is able to be free, is able to live in the moment and not be caught up by what people think of him, what girls say about him, and just live in this present joyous state. A great way to get out of your head is to learn to laugh at yourself. Learn to laugh at anything that happens to you, because remember, if you don't laugh at yourself, someone else is going to be laughing at you. It just happens in today's society. So if you can start to learn to laugh at yourself, nothing that they throw at you or nothing that they, you know, insult at you will affect you, because hey, if you can learn to take or see the funny side in everything that anybody says, then you win at life. You literally have this magnetic ability that no one can sort of imperviate or break down your armor that you have. So I always tried to like cultivate this thing where anybody said anything, I would try to find the humorous side about it. And after a while, they realized that they couldn't hurt me. They couldn't, you know, break my shield down. The whole reason why this came about and I was able to cultivate and understand this principle really, really well was because in high school, I wasn't like this. In high school, anybody said anything to me. Anyone said a little comment behind my back, even to my face, you know, something that really offended me, I would flare up and get angry, or I would just become this target, become this victim. I would literally close down and people would see that. I would become weak-willed. I would become this weak little essence. And people could see that as a target, And in high school, everyone's ruthless. You know, everyone doesn't know the rules of society that well. We're all learning, we're all developing. And so when you don't know the rules of society, it goes back to caveman essence. And shit like that happened and you became this target. You became this kind of target that people jumped on. So that doesn't necessarily end at high school. That can continue on into the workplace, into any sort of social environment, into the women you're dating, into just a nightclub, any sort of environment where there's social interaction, this can happen. So you've got to understand that you have to learn to laugh at anything that anyone says. But the first thing you have to do is learn to laugh at yourself. Now, I'm going to say another thing under that is learn what makes you laugh. So I'd implore you to ask the question, when was the last time you had a laugh? When was the last time you were crying because something was so funny? And it might have been yesterday. That's pretty good. If it was yesterday, it's not too bad. What about like 4 or 5 days ago? Well, it's getting there. If it's beyond a week, we've got mass amount of work to do. You need to find the funny side in life, because life has become too serious. It's become too logical, and you're caught up in the social conditioning of the world, which says to you, hey, don't like conform to all of our flaws, conform to everything, don't stand out, because if you stand out, we're going to literally shame you, we're going to guilt trip you into becoming exactly what we want, and you become this like stiff robot that doesn't want to step outside the social norm, doesn't want to be seen, doesn't want to be heard, just wants to be right in the middle, very generic, and doesn't want to express himself because, look, hey, society is shaming everyone for doing anything like that. And that's okay to have known you have conformed. But now it's not okay to stay there. We've now got to get you out of that conformity and be heard. And there's such things through body language. You can know if I'm going to describe a person, if this is someone like you, then that's a way to understand that you have conformed to society and we've got to break you out of this, right? Someone that has trouble raising their voice is very softly spoken. Someone that cowers away from any sort of interaction or cowers away from any situation that puts them in that anxiety, or they're like, oh no, I can't possibly do that. It might be as generic as asking an old lady for the time. It might be asking someone for directions. I had a really good TikTok I watched where the mother is asking the daughter to call up Domino's, and the daughter is freaking out. It's when she's 13 years old, and it's like, it's the most anxiety riddle she's ever been. She's never had this power being put on her, and she doesn't know what to do. And a lot of the time we've been coddled, and we've been literally, our hand has been held and say, hey, don't laugh, don't sit up, don't do that, don't. This whole reality and this whole life we've lived of don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. And I'm looking, and the more I'm seeing it, the more I'm realizing that it's literally everywhere you see. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. And this is literally dulling your spark, dulling your shine, dulling your essence about you to be this conformity general in the middle. And hey, there's nothing wrong with being in the middle, don't get me wrong. But if you want to be the most magnetic person, you want to have this rock star essence, you want to literally magnetize and create a huge social circle, amazing relationships, and have the best friends in the world, this is something you have to do. So I implore you to ask the question, as I said before, to when was the last time you laughed? And then another question, if you can't remember the last time you did, we've got some work to do, and that is looking up comedians. I implore you to take 2 weeks off. I'll say it. Any shit that you get, I'll be the one to take it. Take 2 weeks off and watch every comedian possible. Obviously go to your work, go to your job, okay? It's not gonna be like, I say to you, I'm like, take 2 weeks off and then you get fired. And it's like, Sam said this. I'm like, no, still go to your job, still do your daily stuff. But in your spare time, don't watch Netflix, don't do any of the YouTube stuff, don't watch TikTok, Instagram, literally just watch comedians. And you'll find that if you're 45, 30 minutes of the way in and you've watched a lot of these comedians, you're not laughing, there is something that needs to be changing within you. Because majority of the time, we live in this world, I'm trying to make myself laugh in it. I'm trying to literally like create this essence, this fun thing, because even that last part was too serious, way too serious, It doesn't have to be all sunshine and flowers. It doesn't have to be this whole like life is this magical place. There's no pain in the world. There's no nothing. It doesn't have to be that, but it has to be fun. You have to enjoy this process. And I can remember when I was very deep in depression, nothing was funny. Everything was a chore. It was like, why me? Why can't things go right? Why can't any sort of good substance come from my life? And when I started to implore the laughter, I started to watch comedians, I started to just live life and have this fun essence about me, I realized what it really was, and it was about cultivating this childlike essence to live at this joyous state. You watch a kid, you watch any kids, right where I am, we have these monkey bars and this playground, and you watch kids just absolutely go ape shit for it. They're literally dragging their parents' arm, like dislocating their arm just to get there. Hello, Mr. Pigeon. They're literally dislocated, like, I need to go for Mum, look at me. And they're just so excited. The mother and father let them go, and they go ape shit. And it's great to watch this essence of just like, I want to experience life. I want to have so much joy, and I want to laugh, and I want to play, and I just want to live. And it's this living. And Robert Greene talks about it in the book Mastery, where we've got to, when we're a young kid, we have all this life to live and this energy, and we want to experience life as we live it. And as we get older, we get more serious, and we're able to concentrate longer. So it's this balancing between the two of having as much fun as you can and living this life and finding laughter in all situations and just being joyous and happy, as well as as we get older, we're allowed to concentrate on something for longer periods of time. So it's about balancing the thing. So it's about finding your purpose, he talks about, and then cultivating this sort of seesaw of this genius essence that we have with the ability to concentrate on something, and then this childlike essence of having fun and joy and laughter with what we do. So when I used to do a lot of public speaking for RSD, one of the things I noticed was when we would go into a crowd that was a little quieter than usual, I could come into the crowd, right? And I could be affected by their non-engaging mood or non-energetic, and I could be at the effect of that, and I could just start to be monotone and just, yeah, I mean, it's the way it is, what are you gonna do? But instead, what we were taught was to never be at the effect of something, but to be at the cause of something. So we would go in there, and again, we wouldn't draw state from the crowd. We would generate our own state, generate our own positive emotions, generate our own engagement, simply for us. And when you're the first to do something, everyone else seems to follow. It's kind of like that sheep mentality. It's like you have one leader and then everyone follows. And that's really, really key, because whether you're in a business dealing, whether you're in a social circle, whether you're in a social interaction, whether you're in anything with your family or any sort of friend or anything, what you want to understand is that you're both pinging off each other or pinging off the group. Now, if one person pings at a very engaging, happy, joy state, is just laughing, is just telling jokes, everyone else is going to follow. If one person is sad in that group, everyone else is going to be sad. It's going to be a damper mood. If one person isn't engaged or doesn't want to be there, it flows off into everyone else. So a couple of physical traits that demonstrate someone that doesn't have a rock star personality is softly spoken. It doesn't mean whispering, you know, there's whispering in conversation, but a general soft spoken, like don't wanna rock the boat, soft, oh my god, like this soft spoken. A weak body language or not taking up space, someone that just sits in the corner, just doesn't want to be seen, that essence. And you've seen people, I know you have, that just don't like want to blend in with everything, right? Seeking rapport, seeking the validation of someone. So this is something that a lot of people do with their voice, and they seek for the like please like me, seek for the like. That's what they do. So instead of, as I'm talking to you now, everything's a downward inflection or it's a neutral inflection, I'm not really seeking for rapport. It's like, please like me, like, oh my god, so you did this today? Oh, so you're 26? Oh, that's so cool. Oh my god, you're la 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 la, and it tails up at the end, literally trying to say like, please like me. By doing something like that tonality and that seeking rapport, you're literally saying, please like me. And you can see that's a lower status trait, where someone like a rock star, you know, you just take the clothes that they wear, you just take the essence that they live in. This person doesn't really care or doesn't conform to society very much. They live on their own terms. Now, they still understand when society is different, for sure. And they're like, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't be doing that, definitely. They still follow societal rules, 100%. But they understand that there are some rules that they don't apply. So take, for instance, fashion is a great one, that they always like to do completely different things. And to them, it's like an analogy. It's like this high school kid at school. I was only thinking about this before. And back even in my school it happened. It was like this one kid, and he would dress differently, he would do stuff with his hair, he would do anything. Or you'd be this essence where it's like he didn't try too hard, but then he did try too hard. Whatever he did, he had this essence of like, why are the rest of you doing what I'm doing? Everyone would be like, why the fuck are you doing that? Like, try and make fun of him. And he sat so grounded and so present in the moment. And so like, no, what you're doing is actually weird. When he's so congruent to what he is doing, so sure of what he's doing. So those words, congruentness, he's connected to himself, he's sure of himself. He would do something and then people, their frames would break and they would start to do what he's doing. So that's that essence of that rock star, being so sure of what you're doing, so unafraid of people not liking you. I can remember a kid in school used to doing that, and the funny thing is, because I used to jump on the trends with him. That's the reason. I used to do this. Everyone's done it, don't get me wrong. I'm gonna dress exactly the way I want to. I'm gonna act exactly the way I want to. I don't really like to follow people. I like to be the first one to do something. I like to be that leader. So these are the essences, these are the qualities that a rock star has that makes them so magnetic. And now I say rock star it's just a high value person that has this essence that is magnetic to people and people want to be around them. So if you incorporate all these things, it's a step to the right direction of becoming that person that you want to be. I hope you got something from that. I hope you understood one key thing that really resonated with you that you're going to go right after, whether that is incorporating that childlike essence again and taking life not too seriously, whether it was the laughing and exploring different comedians and literally allowing yourself to laugh, whether it was understanding that a rock star or someone that has that essence is at the forefront of different things and is so sure of themselves that nothing really deters them, or by someone not liking them, it really doesn't faze them too much. Or if something like the idea of being very present to the moment and being very grounded resonate with you, I hope you took something from that. So it's Sam here. Enjoy your evening.